Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Go F.O.C. Yourself. My name is Brandon. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Took a little bit of a break due to taking cats to vets. Just kind of mucked up my Fridays. So I'm very happy to be back, and it is a very important week to be back because this is the first week that full orders from Marvel are due from Penguin Random House. So we're going to be focusing on that to start out with today. If you have any comments or questions during the process, please feel free to pop them up. And as always, we got some rules here. First and foremost, we're going to be talking about the stories first and the collectability second. We might point out a few neat covers here and there, but for the most part, we're going to focus on the number ones, the arc starts, the things to be aware of, basically. Rule number 2, helpful information is always welcome. If you want to drop in a comment, we'll pop that up, probably, maybe, almost definitely. But as always, unhelpful information will not be acknowledged unless you address me as Comics Daddy, and sometimes not even then. So if you have something that's not really going to help the discourse, you can try, but you're going to have to call me Comics Daddy in the comments wherever you're watching this. And rule number 4, don't be a ding-dong. If you're a ding-dong, you're out of here. That's just how it goes. All right, let's get straight to some screen sharing. Just making sure that my stuff is ready. Yeah, that's the right one. Good. If at any point in time it doesn't look like the screen share is updating, please let me know so that I can restart it. I don't have a second screen here to really see how all of these things are running. So, all right. Oh, do not want to do that. Oh, no. There we are. All righty. So, up top, one of these things you're going to notice if you're in the States is in Canadian dollars, which for the first time in a long time, ordering things in Canadian, it's been a weird thing that when I look at the book market stuff, I'm like, oh, that price, that's gotta be a lot more expensive. Man, books got really expensive, but I keep realizing that I've been used to ordering from Diamond and not from anybody else. So anybody else has Canadian prices. So you'll see the Canadian price. Amazing Spider-Man is not $7.50 American. It is $7.50 Canadian. You also see one of our interns helping out today. Now, this Amazing Spider-Man 75 is the start of the new creative team taking over. There is a batch of people taking over this title. Zeb Wells being the head of the group. There will also be Kelly Thompson, Patrick Gleason, and I always forget a couple of the others. Oh, Saladin Ahmed, and the dude Corey something. Anyways, their whole new era is kicking off. It is going to be coming out 3 times a month, at least, from the looks of it, which is going to be a lot. Are you having fun, Jim? This will also see the return of Ben Reilly. My guy. Ben Reilly was Spider-Man when I started getting into comics, or at least this end of comics. There was always like comic strips, Archies, that kind of stuff. But I classify the kind of superhero discovery as my deep end into comics. So I'm very excited for this book. Some other folks will be. Obviously, it's continuing the Amazing Spider-Man numbering that's been happening with this current volume. So that's not an easy. That's an easy thing to kind of keep somebody on. If you want to keep, somebody off, pop in that mechanism to get them off the book, because this is essentially a number 1, and so some people might want off. Who knows? But yeah, be aware that this is coming out, and it's gonna got 10 covers, which is a fair amount. Folks have noticed that this is a little slow on this end. If you're adding quantities, it takes a little bit to get things through. I know as business owners, time is precious. We got a lot going on. I recommend doing a light multitask, whether it's some bags and boards or whatever, while the waiting happens. It's not a long time. Let's see if I just kind of pop this on here for funsies. Dude. You think. So yeah, there's like a little bit of a process to this. And yeah, it takes some stuff. So I'd be like doing some product knowledge stuff, whatever. That's perfect. Maybe it's because I'm running a lot of things at once. And sharing this page, who knows? Regardless, there, it added it. My goodness. That's a little longer than usual, but let's see if it'll actually go back or if we have to reconsider how I'm doing this here. We're doing it live, kids. All right. So anyways, while that's happening, Penguin Random House does have a lot of ways around such a thing. It's in their support center. It's fairly easy to access. They have a little area for managing your cart. You can add multiple ISBNs and UPCs to your cart all at once. You can do it pretty quickly, getting all of your units in, the UPC code, and then the quantity. And that is the easiest way to kind of get it all happening at once. Boom, and getting it all up. So there are a lot of good resources for this kind of thing. Yeah, we're still doing this. Okay, well, let's see if we can't just... All right, good. Of course it wrapped up right when I pressed the button. Good times. So yeah, like I said, I recommend multitasking while this is happening. Another thing to be aware of F.O.C. carts, just because you added it to the cart doesn't mean it is finalized. You do have to view the cart and finalize your order before the deadline. Otherwise, you'll miss out, my friends, and that's not good. So there's a lot of resources there that will help out. Shazam. All right. As you can see, it'll tell the quantity that you have there currently in the cart. If you cannot drop it from this screen, you have to go into your F.O.C. cart to drop numbers. So I've always, ever since final order cutoff started, I've stopped really doing solid numbers for initials. And honestly, it's because instead of doing this process twice, I'm doing it once, figuring out the numbers, because, you know, people add, people drop, stuff's changing. Can I do it that way? Anyways, the Marvel stuff, they even tell you kind of how many variants you'll be dealing with in each one, which ones are the variants. They have the picture up front. I really like the way that this is done. And Penguin Random House is actually working on a lot of the improvements, doing sort of like an easier batch method, speeding up on the add F.O.C. to carts, because this is truly a new program for them. They already did make things a little easier. Before, you had to go through different catalogs that had different final order cutoff information in it. Now all the final order cutoff information for that date, no matter what catalog you're in, will pool into one area. So you only have to check the one. That's good. That was something that folks were wondering about. Now another one to look out for, the Star Wars High Republic Trail of Shadows, #1. It is a spin-off from the main series. We've got Philip Kennedy Johnson, Dave Wachter on this one. I'm very excited because Philip Kennedy Johnson is killing it with these. So if you have your Star Wars folks who are digging all the High Republic stuff, definitely get them on here. Now that's sort of the end of the Marvel single issues. It starts getting into a lot of the other stuff that's not Marvel specific. But funnily enough, all of the Marvels, a journey to the ends of the biggest story ever told. Douglas Wolk. This book is about reading every Marvel comic ever. I'm writing a book about it. I love Douglas Wolk. He does some incredible work and gets a lot of stuff done. I'm very happy about that. The Batman Arkham Asylum Deluxe Edition coming out along with the Long Halloween Deluxe. Batwoman Omnibus. Ooh, very excited about that one, actually. Now, a lot of those you might have done through Lunar already, so be aware of where you're ordering. One of these days, I'll talk about a nice ordering solution that we have so that we're not doubling up on orders from anywhere. It's really fun. The Inferior 5 collection's coming out. The last bits of this did not come out in print in single issues. So this is the first time some of that content will be seen in print. The Inferior 5 featured a story about a lot of low tier characters, and Jeff Lemire also was doing a Peacemaker story in the back of it. So all of this is finally coming together in collected edition. Mad About Meatloaf Weenie featuring Frankie Beans. I can open up in a new tab. Thank you. Look at these. Beautiful, beautiful folks. This is one of the things I love most about the Penguin Random House thing, is I'm finding all of these things to populate our all ages section. It's made it so much easier for me, honestly. Meet Weenie, a meatloaf obsessed wiener dog, and his best friends Frank and Beans in this hilarious early graphic novel for fans of Narwhal and Jelly and the Bad Guys. 2 big hits at our store. Weenie loves his human Bob. He loves his guinea pig friend Beans and his cat friend Frank, and he loves naps and adventures and sharing. In fact, Weenie loves pretty much everything except the mail carrier. But the thing Weenie loves and desires more than anything else in the world is meatloaf, and he'll do anything to get it. Join Weenie, Frank, and Beans on a laugh-out-loud meatloaf adventure, complete with a trench coat disguise, a wild meatloaf trap, and even a hungry wolf. For the kids. I love that for the kids. The Saga of the Swamp Thing box set. The whole thing of Alan Moore's run. Available in one nice, decent chunk. Open in a new tab, girl. I'm going to take my own advice and multitask while that gets ready in the background. I also like that they have the Star Wars novels here. That's really cool to look into for folks who have been getting a little bit more of the prose novels like ourselves. Salt Magic from Hope Larson and Rebecca Mock. When a jealous witch curses her family's well, it's up to Voncel to set things right in an epic journey that will leave her changed forever. When Voncel's older brother Elber comes home to their family's Oklahoma farm after serving on the front lines of World War I, things aren't what she suspects. His experiences have changed him into a serious and responsible man who doesn't have time for Von Ciel anymore. He even marries the girl he had left behind. Then a mysterious and captivating woman shows up at the farm and confronts Elber for leaving her in France. When he refuses to leave his wife, she puts a curse on the family well, turning the entire town's water supply into salt water. Who is this lady dressed in white, and what has she done to the farm? And what does Volcel's old Uncle Del know about her? To find out, Volcel will have to strike out on her own and delve deep into the world of witchcraft, confronting dangerous relatives, shape-shifting animals, a capricious sugar witch, and the lady in white herself, the forbidding salt witch. The journey will change Volcel, but along the way, she'll learn about love and what it means to grow up. These two worked together on a graphic novel series, Compass something. It's gonna bug me. Anyways, those were 3 volumes that we sold quite well up here, and very happy. Oh yeah, Compass South. There we go. Quite happy that this will be back. And again, Canadian pricing here. It's $20 Canadian. I love the idea of vampire dormitory. That's going to have to be something that I dig a little bit more into for sure. The final issue of Immortal Hulk is coming out with a bevy of covers as well to look through. I know there is a way to consolidate these from the different areas, but I'm too lazy to figure that out right now. Ms. Marvel, Marvel Tales. I always do love these big collections that are offer the stories for relatively cheap. And the wrap up to the Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunter is happening as well. The unofficial Dolly Parton activity book. All right. I see you. The Sleepover. Ooh, it's a PRH. I love Penguin Random House's graphic line. Pop that out. Get that ready. And Lore Olympus Volume 1. Final orders are due for it. This is a big one. You've been hearing about all the Webtoon stuff happening. Well, this is the biggest Webtoon. Millions of subscribers. Not readers, subscribers who get notified when a new installment comes out. These folks will also be getting, because a lot of these creators include at the back end calls to action to get product at stores. You want to be a part of that? I would definitely look into the webcomic scene or the Webtoon scene and get that happening for yourself. Hidden back a little bit. The Sleepover. Perfect for fans of Stranger Things, this middle grade graphic novel follows a group of kids trying to cheer up their friend after a recent loss with a fun-filled sleepover, but their plans soon take a dark turn when they discover his new nanny may literally be a monster. There's a lot more there, but I do have an appointment at 4, so I'm going to try and go through some stuff a little bit quicker today. And Lore Olympus, Scandalous Gossip, Wild Parties, and Forbidden Love, the Greek tale of Hades and Persephone, gets a romantic modern update in this gorgeously illustrated Eisner-nominated Lore Olympus, including a brand new exclusive short story that you will only be able to get in print. An ingenious take on the Greek pantheon. Lore Olympus is the modern update of the story of Hades and Persephone. Follow the propulsive love story of 2 Greek gods told in lavish artwork and contemporary sensibilities. So excited to get that into people's hands this November. Also, order up a lot, because supply chain issues are going to affect that book real hard. All of us will have to be keeping a good eye out. Your special advice for humans from Cool Man Coffee Dan. I love it. Fly by Night as well. So much cool stuff happening. My goodness. I suppose it is all getting ready for the holiday season. The Ultimate Spider-Man Omnibus finally getting printed here. No, that one was pushed back a ways, if I am remembering correctly. The Avengers Epic Collection. Oh, yeah. And as the single issues wrap up, the Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters trade paperback is due for orders too. The Web of Spider-Man, perfect for youths. Want to read stuff. Who sparked the Montgomery bus boycott? Rosa Parks. This was one of the free comic book day selections this year, so you might want to follow up on that one with some orders. Who was the first man on the moon? Who was the girl warrior of France? Who was the voice of the people? My goodness, this is a big one. Oh, the Moon Knight Omnibus getting reprinted. I know some folks are excited about that. All right. That brings us to the end of that batch there. So let's hop on over. Actually, no, let's do this and then let's hop on over. Fly by Night. In this environmental thriller graphic novel with a supernatural twist, Dee must find out what happened to her missing twin, an amazing mystery filled with strange creatures, high school drama, and family. This darkly illustrated book shows us that monsters are all around us. I like this kind of bold, quick hit here. And if you want to learn more about it, you kind of go in deeper below. But if you want like sort of the feel for your orders, you get that a bit up top. I love when there's like a little bit of a tighter thing to pitch, basically. I love that. All right, continuing things that have orders due this Monday. I'm excited for the second printing of Echolands #1. We do have a bunch of first prints in the store for folks who still need the essential guide to comic book lettering. Yes, please. From Nate Picos, who does Blambot. It's going to be a good guide on how to do this properly. It's one of my biggest pet peeves is opening a comic and just being like, oof, the lettering. And so this is going to be a lot of how to and making things look real good. The Paper Girls Complete Volume, boom. Orders due really soon. Should be out before the end of the year. Just in time for a certain TV show to be kicking off as well. Luther Strode Complete Volume as well. Man, Luther Strode is so wild. And it will be nice to have a nice all-in-one to give to people. This is back to US pricing, by the way. 10th anniversary special edition Luther Strode is your average teenage nerd until he sends away for the Hercules method, a bodybuilding course that promises to give him the body of his dreams. But the powers he unleashes make him a target for a murder cult as old as mankind and cost him almost everything and take him across the world in the fight to take back his life. This is wildly violent, and the art is hyper-kinetic from Trad Moore. Just an absolute brilliant book. Paper Girls is, of course, a precursor to Stranger Things, but definitely in that same vein. 4 12-year-old newspaper delivery girls from the year 1988 uncover the most important story of all time. Suburban drama and otherworldly mysteries collide in this critically acclaimed series about nostalgia, first jobs, and the last days of childhood. There's the first issue of Righteous Thirst for Vengeance by Rick Remender and Andre Araujo. When an unassuming man stumbles upon a dark web contract assassin's vicious plot to kill an innocent target, he turns himself into one. The professional meets the road to perdition in this story of a family's unlikely guardian being hunted by rich and powerful men who are used to getting away with everything. Get some preview pages here. I love Araujo's artwork. It is absolutely stunning always. And very excited for more work from him. The first volume of Time Before Time coming out. The year is 2140. To escape a world with no future, many turn to the Syndicate, a criminal organization that, for the right price, will smuggle you back in time to the promise of a better yesterday. Tatsu, a syndicate smuggler, wants to leave his life of crime behind, but when an FBI agent disrupts his escape plan, they both find themselves hunted across time by his former employers. A mix of Saga and Lupa, Time Before Time is a sci-fi crime tale that proves the one thing you can never escape is your past. Sometimes I get bored and do voices because I'm an adult who runs a business. Hi, Squee. You want to say hello to the nice people? We saying hello to the nice people. I always place our Dark Horse orders through Penguin Random House as well. That does sometimes mean you get things about a week after Diamond, but sometimes it actually means you get it 2 weeks before. Just depends on the project. Dark Horse is weird like that. You're in the way. Ugh. Yeah, if you settle down, you can stay. Okay. We're settled on my arm. That's good. Jim has decided to use the chair next to me, and Squee has decided he is on my arm now. Critical Role Mighty Nine Origins. They're going through different characters. This one by Jody Hauser and Asina Espiritu. A fire can leave you warm or consume you. Or it can consume you. When Brent Eldrick, Embergrund, didn't do that right, was chosen to attend the Soltrius Academy, everyone knew he would have an important future in the service to the Empire. But nobody, least of all Bren himself, could foresee cruelty, the cruelty that he would endure and the ways in which it would break and remake him. Witness the events that transformed Bren into the Mighty Nine's Caleb Widogast and how they inform the path that he'll take in the future. So these Marvel action origin stories, they've been coming out at a bit of a slower pace, but they featured good origin tales for different characters, sort of little one-offs to get little tastes of stuff. It's really well done. Oh, this has the entirety of the Winona Earp in collected editions for folks who've been trying to get the different stories from Winona Earp. There's all in one collection now, all in print very soon. Star Wars Adventure Smugglers Run is an adaptation of Greg Rucka's story. Very cool and better place. This sidekick misses his superhero. After hearing that his grandfather has gone to a better place, a boy sets off on a grand adventure to find him dressed as his favorite comic book character. Dylan just moved to a new house with no friends and a mother who doesn't have time for him. Luckily, he has his granddad, and together they are Red Rocket and Kid Cosmo, who save the world from evil every day with the power of imagination. But one day, Dylan learns that his granddad is suddenly gone to a better place, and now Kid Cosmo will have to save the day all by himself. Very touching. All right. And that one did that same thing too, this little upper blurb being kind of the quick bite. Gonna skip on Marvel because we already covered it. Although I should note that Gleason's got another webhead cover there that those always sell, like cakes that are very warm. Warm cakes, one would say. Why, these babies are selling like warm cakes. Jennifer Blood #1 from Fred Van Lente. And Vincenzo Ferrucci. So, once upon a time, a suburban housewife spent her nights as a mobster murdering assassin named Jennifer Blood. And then she died. Or did she? Because in the cozy cul-de-sacs of Bountiful, Utah, a noticeable number of normal people have gone missing. And by normal, I mean mobsters under witness protection. And by missing, I mean killed by someone who looks and sounds and murders a lot like Jennifer Blood. Jennifer Blood is a Garth Ennis creation. This is a new series for Red Sonja #1 from Mercury and Dolfo is getting a second printing along with the second issue. My hand might go to sleep. It's already feeling like pins and needles. The second collection of Abbott is out. I love the supernatural storytelling in Abbott that also kind of coincides with media and kind of crime noir elements. I really love it. House of Slaughter is the spin-off from Something is Killing the Children. It will be about the House of Slaughter. From the book, discover the inner workings of the House of Slaughter in this new horror series, exploring the secret history of the order that forged Erica Slaughter into the monster hunter she is today. You know Aaron Slaughter as Erica's handler and rival, but before he donned the black mask, Aaron was a teenager training within the House of Slaughter. Surviving within the school is tough enough, but it gets even more complicated when Aaron falls for a mysterious boy destined to be his competition. Dive deeper into the world of Something is Killing the Children in this first story arc by co-creator James Tynan IV and co-writer Tate Brombaugh, with rising art by rising star Chris Sheehan, the autumnal, nice, and co-creator Werther Del Adera. Gonna have to ask Squee to leave soon. Boop, 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 boop. Either that or he's gonna bite my hand. 50-50 chance. Deep, 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 deep. These are definitely not coming out. Just a heads up on that. The number ones have not been on F.O.C. So something going on. This one here. Oh, and they've got Chainsaw Man on Final Order Cutoff. That's good. That is a thing that should have been on there a long time ago. Chicken Devil #1 from Brian Buccellato and Hayden Sherman. I love Hayden Sherman. Mitchell Moss is about as regular as it gets. He's married with 2 children and co-owns a successful chain of Memphis hot chicken restaurants. But it's not the life that screams hero vigilante until he discovers that his business partner is in bed with the mob and owes them $2 million. Unfortunately, Mitch is ill-equipped to be a badass. He's just a guy who makes really good chicken. Can he protect his family from cold-blooded gangsters? Absolutely not. But maybe Chicken Devil can. Chickers. The Sumerian Beyond the Black River is a continuation of the Conan stories that Ablaze has been reprinting. Czarface, a Czar is born. Featuring the band. What? You're gonna bite me, aren't you? Can people even see you on the camera? Yeah, I think they can. Yeah, they can. Oh, Diamond, why you have no picture for this? I know there's a picture for this. Anyways, how will the Dynamites heat things up in order to outsmart and ice out Bully and his big bad crew of furry doofs and manage to save their hometown along with the most precious piece of art in the whole entire world? Readers of Dogman Hollow investigators, the Bad Guy series will love this outrageous and zany humor paired with action-packed adventure in this exciting graphic novel series. Dirtbag Rapture from Oni Press. From Christopher Sabella. Ooh, I like that guy. And Kendall Good. She's stoned, she's selfish, she's all that stands between us and the end of the world. Where do you go when you die? Kat is a stoner with a flexible moral code, and she can answer that. And that answer is not very far. But unfortunately for Kat's peace of mind, a near-death experience has left her with the ability to see and hear ghosts as well as take them into her mindscape so she can bring them to locations of their choosing, essentially playing the transporter to the deceased. But when Kat discovers she's the key to a demonic plan to screw up the whole world, she is forced to take an active role in the battle between good and evil, and she is not thrilled about it. Not thrilled at all. Hard pass. Giga, the complete series. Ooh, so excited for that to be all in one volume. It's a story about how society and religions and whatnot begin to form after all these giant mech robots kind of go dormant. Outstanding. I loved it. Hooky is something we have in the store right now. So Diamond, definitely on top of it. I should tell you a little bit about Hooky. I just wrote about it earlier today. It's about two young witches who end up missing the bus to their school, or their magic school, and end up getting in huge amounts of trouble to the point where like their entire race is like turning on them. Good fun adventure. It's on Webtoon. If you want to look up and read that maybe for free to see if you love it. We've got some signed hardcovers at the store, so that's pretty cool. What are we doing? Are we all going to try and be on camera? We've got Out, #1 from AWA. In the waning days of World War II, with the Allies advancing, a desperate Nazi officer unearths an ancient force of evil that he hopes will turn the tide of battle, a vampire. To test the power of his secret weapon, he unleashes the monster on an unsuspecting group of Allied POWs. It's up to Nakana, a Comanche language expert, to communicate with the vampire to find out what it really wants. Seems like a very bright and light book. Got the graphic novel Painted from Humanoids. You can order those through Simon & Schuster. Celine and Sophie are typical high school girls. One day, when Celine's period is used to make her the target of school-wide humiliation, she realizes it's time for a revolution. Inspired by the Celtic face-painted warriors of her ancestry, Celine sets out with her friends to challenge the patriarchy. But when the ferocity of the real world comes crashing in, the girls' identities are shattered, and they are left to pick up the pieces all on their own. Painted deals unapologetically with bullying, violence, language, drug use, death, the bonds of sisterhood, and above all, the power of friendship. The very best ship. Alrighty. So that's going to be pretty much all we're going to be talking about, other than a quick and easy bundle that collects all of the quick and easy guides that are out from Limerence so far. So the quick and easy guide to they, them pronouns, to trans identities, sex and disability, and consent, all in one nice box. Very nice. All right, on to the final leg. Final leggies. We do these in 2 phases. This one is the stuff due from Lunar this Sunday. If you're like me and are a Universal customer, the deadline for these has passed. The deadline for these ones was Thursday for us. But see what we got here. Arkham City, The Order of the World. I'm very excited about this because this creative team is the one that does Coffin Bound. Outstanding. And look at that cover. So gorgeous. From Dan Waters and Danny. The Joker's attack on Arkham Asylum left the long-standing Gotham establishment in ruin. Most of the patients killed or missing, and only a handful of surviving staff. A few nurses, a gravely injured security guard, and one doctor. In the chaos of the assault, it is believed that several of the asylum's patients escaped and scurried off into the dark nooks and crannies of Gotham City. Now these Arkhamites walk among us, and it's up to the asylum's one remaining doctor, Yocasta Joy, to round up her former patients. Meet these Arkhamites: a woman with no face, a piggy in search of perfection, a man who feels nothing and burns everything, a woman who must devour life to save herself, and a man unfit for waking world who looks instead for wonderland, a body with more than one soul, a being unbound from time who lives in the present and the past, a boy who seeks comfort of vermin, and the twisted man who sees them all for who they are, and witness the avenging angel who stalks them. Thanks, spam call. This fall, join writer Dan Waters and artist Danny on an odyssey through the deepest depths and darkest shadows of Gotham City. The Batman Audio Adventures special is pairing with the HBO Max podcast coming out. Got a lot of cool people there. Just keep an eye on that and make sure you got some stuff ready when the time comes. Batman the Imposter. Bruce Wayne's mission as Batman has only been underway for about a year or so, but he can tell he's making a difference. Unfortunately, he's made some powerful enemies. All the traditional power brokers of Gotham resent the disruption that the Batman has brought to town, and it seems that one of them has a plan to neutralize him. There's a second Batman haunting Gotham's rooftops and alleys, and this one has no qualms about murdering criminals live and on tape. With the entire might of the Gotham City Police Department and Gotham's rich and powerful coming down on his head, Batman must find this imposter and somehow clear his name. But how can you prove your innocence from behind a mask? Director and screenwriter Mattson Tomlin has teamed up with Eisner-winning suspense and horror artist Andrea Sorrentino to create a wholly new version of Gotham City informed by grim reality, where every punch leaves a broken bone and every action has consequences far, far beyond Batman's imagination. This Batman Urban Legends also has the start of some stories with some Fear State tie-ins. So always keep an eye on that stuff there. Squee, if you start poking at the keyboard, I have to ask you to leave. Jim's trying to find a way. To hang out. But Squee's in the way. All right, Soul Plumber, from the creators of the last podcast on the left, exorcism just got a whole lot easier. After attending the seminar hosted in a hotel conference room by a mysterious group called the Soul Plumbers, Edgar Wiggins, a disgraced former seminary school student, discovers that he thinks there's a secret to delivering souls from the thrall of Satan. But after stealing the blueprints and building the machine himself out of whatever he can afford from his salary as a gas station attendant, Edgar misses the demon and instead pulls out an interdimensional alien with dire consequences for all of mankind. The Justice League in this winter hardcover is out for folks who are waiting for that little bit of business, as well as the collections of No Ghost in Hiroshima from Scout and Superman, The One Who Fell. This is the first collection of the Philip Kennedy Johnson series. And this one, hell doesn't always come in a handbasket. Sometimes it comes in a briefcase. Guilt is the greatest ghost of them all. For James Heinrichsen, the guilt of a mistake made years ago continues to haunt him, and he believes that he has condemned an innocent soul to eternal suffering. And he has worked for years to invent a way to free this soul from hell itself. His medical student Gabriel helps him on this journey through the darkness, while pursued by demons who are determined to stop and ascend the hierarchy of heck. Swamp Dogs, number 1. They came from the swamp, the scummiest squad of Confederate soldiers brought back to life by powerful voodoo magic. They crave power, carnage, and female flesh. They are swamp dogs, now young lovers, Ayana and Violet, and their friends from the goofy stoner metal band, The Grunch, will unknowingly fall into their ghoul nest in House of Crows. Bear witness to a rollicking gore fest straight out of shocking grindhouse and revengeful blaxploitation of the 1970s and the cult horror classics of the 1980s with a modern twist. I'm assuming that it was changed to Swamp Dogs, House of Crows. Never mind. All good. And also, finally here, the Wonder Woman, The Adventures of Young Diana collects all of the stories that have been running through the back pages of Wonder Woman. What did I say? I said, don't go on the keyboard. And then the Teen Titans Go Superhero Girls crossover graphic novel is happening. I'm almost done, buddy. But you're causing a problem. All right. Finally. This is the stuff due for us from Universal this Thursday. Taking a look here. The Batman Fortnite Foundation one-shot is coming out with some writing by Scott Snyder alongside Christos Gage and Donald Mustard from the first series with art from Joshua Higson. Love that artist. So directly from the best-selling, groundbreaking Batman Fortnite 0-point miniseries comes an oversized one-shot that brings the action from the island to Gotham City. And if you thought the Batman Fortnite saga was over, think again. It only gets bigger from here. It includes a bonus digital code for an outfit in Fortnite. Fortnite will be continuing to tell stories with the DC Universe, as well as on Webtoon. DC had announced a promotion of an editor that will be specifically watching those brands. So, pretty cool. All right, we also have Batman The Long Halloween Special, #1. It's basically another story in that long Halloween style from Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. So if you like that series, there's more of it. Catwoman, Lonely City from Cliff Chang. Very excited about this. 10 years ago, the massacre known as Fool's Night claimed the lives of Batman, the Joker, Nightwing, and Commissioner Gordon, and sent Selina Kyle, the Catwoman, to prison. A decade later, Gotham has grown up. It's put away costume heroism and villainy as childish things. The new Gotham is cleaner, safer, and a lot less free under the watchful eye of Mayor Harvey Dent and his Bat Cops. It's into this new city that Selina Kyle returns, a changed woman, with her mind on that one last big score, the secrets hidden inside the Batcave. She doesn't need the money. She just needs to know, who is Orpheus? Visionary creator Cliff Chang writes, draws, colors, and letters the story of a world without Batman, where one woman's wounds threaten to tear apart an entire city. It's an unmissable artistic statement that will change the way that you see Gotham's heroes and villains forever. The Dreaming Collection is on here as well. It will pop up later on Penguin Random House as been seen before. The Perhaps second collection is coming out. I like this tale of this essentially cryptid super team. I like dams. The Superman and the Authority collection from Grant Morrison and Mikhail Yanin, collecting that story before the Authority really take a central role in a lot of the Superman books going forward. And I believe that is it, which is good because I have an appointment. I hope you all enjoyed this. It was a long one. It was always going to be. I know our cats did. They loved being on camera. Our interns. So from us to you, we hope you're having a great day, and we will talk to you all soon. Bye.